Hi everyone, this is Jessica Canty. I am your life and career strategist. I'm so excited to bring to you all a workshop this evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to see you all here. Today I'll be presenting 5 secrets working professionals need to know in order to leave their unfulfilled jobs and step into their dream careers. So you might see my eyes kind of dart back and forth because I'm recording this on Zoom as well. So you can also see this presentation on Zoom. I'll make sure that I post it so everyone who joins us this evening can get an opportunity to watch it at a later time as well. So let's jump right into the material. First, I want to say thank you all for joining me this evening. I'm so excited to see you all here with me. And if this is the first time we've met, hello, I'm Jessica Canty. I am your life and career strategist. I have a passion for helping people move from their unfulfilled job into their dream careers. And that's why we're having this session this evening. Again, the title of our session will be The 5 Secrets Working Professionals Need to Know to Leave Unfulfilled Jobs and Move into Their Dream Career. Okay. So, how do you know if this workshop is for you? How do you know if you are in the right place? Welcome. You are in the right place if you're in a career you hate. You're in the right place if you have an appetite for career escalation. You are definitely in the right place if you are feeling a little insecure in your current job. If you want to be in a position of influence in your workplace and profession, then you are right where you need to be. If you feel like your workload is too heavy and you're being underpaid and you're noticing that people, your family, friends, and loved ones are saying, you seem a little bit angry and you seem a little irritated and tired, then you are in the right place. If you know that you're not getting paid your worth, if you know your skills are not being used to their highest capability, then this evening's workshop was designed for you. If you want to increase your financial freedom, but you're feeling kind of like, well, how do I do that? I feel like I'm kind of stuck in my current job. How do I move out of this job so I can actually make the salary that's reflective of my skills, that's going to meet the demands of my lifestyle, and also allow me some space to even have a vacation? Then this is the right space for you this evening. And I'm so happy that you joined us this evening. So, just by way of how we're going to communicate this evening, there's 3 major things that we're going to talk about, or 3 guiding principles for what we're going to do this evening. I'm going to share with you the secrets to overcoming myths that keep people in jobs of drudgery. The ones that you just feel like you got to drag yourself out of the bed on Monday morning and you're like, is it Friday yet? I can't wait for the weekend. And how to move into your career of your passions, that you feel like you're showing up for your purpose every day. I'm going to tell you how to get the help that you need so that you can leave that job behind. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then now I'm going to have a space for question and answers. So please feel free to ask any questions that you may have. And there's definitely going to be time at the end as well to answer any questions that you may have. So let's jump in. For those who are meeting for the first time, I introduce myself as Jessica Canty, and I'm a life and career strategist. What does that mean? That means when I get up every morning, I think about how do I help people love the work that they do? How do I help people see their paycheck and say, yeah, that's the paycheck that I want? So let me tell you a bit about who I am, my background that got me to the place of being a life and career strategist. I'm the founder of Proverbs 1522 Personal Growth Coaching, LLC. I have 14 years of writing and facilitating training for diverse audiences with clients and participants that include 6-year-olds to 6-figure earners. You'd be surprised how some of this material can help 6th graders and down to 6-year-olds on up to 6-figure earners. I feel like I have a specialty, a superpower, if you will. I really enjoy unearthing talents and skills of my clients. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have found that a lot of the people that I work with sell themselves short, that they underestimate all the hard work that they put into something, that they undermine the gifts and skills that they have. And my superpower is unearthing them, digging them out to make sure that they're able to use them and that they feel excited about using them. My programming is for working professionals. That includes entrepreneurs. Those are the employers and the employees who really want to be supportively catapulted into their career. So I'm going to help you out. I may say some information this evening that kind of challenges some of your thought processes, but I'm here to help you so that you're not in 2020 saying, here I go again. You're not going to file taxes for the same job ever again. You're never going to have to do that same commute again, even mentally or physically. I want you to make sure that you are living in your dream career. Now, some of my training includes, I have a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in social work. So how does that pertain to careers? That means that I've gotten specialized training in how to interview, how to unearth challenges that people have, and to make sure that they're able to create a path and a plan out of those challenges. I've even received training from Georgetown, where I did some transformational leadership training with them. And I'm also trained in motivational interviewing. So all that mixed bag brings Jessica Canty to you today. I am that life and career strategist. I'm so excited about what we're going to talk about this evening and how that's going to impact your future. Okay. So it's now time to overcome myths. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here to join us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So one of the things that a lot of people don't realize are their mental mindsets and how that keeps them stuck in a space. If I keep playing the same script over and over in my head, if I keep playing the same tape over and over in my head, it's going to affect how I behave. It's going to affect how I interact with others. It's going to affect what I think is best in my life. So I want to give to you all some of the myths that people believe that keep them stuck in jobs that they hate. The very first myth that people believe that keeps them stuck is just post it and it will come. Yep, that's a myth. That if you just post your resume online and you put the tasks that you had from previous jobs, you'll land a job. But that's not the truth. The truth is that most resumes are not even seen by human eyes. Now, in today's HR field, a lot of jobs are now having artificial intelligence scan your resume to see if it's even going to be passed on to an HR representative's desk. Then once it gets to the HR representative's desk, they're probably only going to look at it for 30 seconds to determine whether or not they even pass it on. So you've got to overcome that myth that let me stay up all night, clean up my resume, and then post it. Oh, thank you so much, Fancy Swag Her. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So if you're posting it, it's got to have the 3 T's. So here's the secret to overcoming that myth. The secret is you need the right tool with transferable skills and transformational language. Did you catch that? You have to have the 3 T's, the right tool, transferable skills, and transformational language. Not just that task-based language that, okay, this is what I did in my previous job. This is what my responsibilities in my previous job. It's not going to get your job past the computer database onto an HR person's desk. And even if they're looking at it, after 30 seconds, they're not going to pass it on. And if they're not passing it on, you'll have the frustration of applying for multiple jobs and waiting, twiddling your thumbs, wondering why nobody's responding back to you. Wondering why, like, I spent all this time putting resumes online. I know I meet the qualifications. Why hasn't anyone contacted me? Because you've got that myth going. So let's talk about myth number 2. Myth number 2 that a lot of people believe, and this is really interesting because I have a background in HR as well, is that an interview is a chance for me to explain my experience. A lot of people think that when they get called in for an interview, oh, yay, I can talk about what I wrote in my resume. That's a myth. Interviews now are skills tests to test your ability to fit within the company's culture. And that's usually assessed within 7 seconds. So you prepare for this interview, your resume made it past the database onto the HR person's desk, and now the HR person says, why don't you come in for an interview? And within 7 seconds, they have sized you up to see if you're going to fit into their culture. Now, they will give you the courtesy of going through with the interview, and they may even give you a skills test. I don't know if you all have been watching television, But there's a commercial for a company that you can post your resumes on their website. And now they're catering to the hiring managers. And they're saying that resumes don't tell you enough. So they're telling the people who are going to hire you that your resume is not enough to assess your skills. They're saying you should post a skills assessment on our website before you even call the person into the interview. So that connects to the first myth and this myth. That now companies are not just looking at your resume before they even schedule time, because time is money. They're going to do a skills assessment before you even walk into the office. And that's what an interview is. It's not for you to be able to say, oh yeah, I did this job, but I did that job. What it is to see whether or not you are skilled and you fit within the culture. So what you need to do to overcome that, here's your secret for that. To combat that myth is that you need to know the different styles of interviews and how to navigate through tough questions. So you got to know before you walk in there that this is a skills assessment. You need to know what type of skills assessment it is. And how do I navigate through the tough questions that are designed to trip me up, to see how I handle crises. Because if you don't, you'll miss out on the opportunity to showcase how you will solve challenges that company is facing, that client is facing. Because even if you're an entrepreneur, you're being interviewed by your clients, and they want to know, why should I spend my money with you? They want to know, show me. I need to see your work. As an entrepreneur, I need to see your work, and to figure out whether or not you're worth my money and my investment. So let's move on to myth number 3. Myth number 3 is that my skills and talents are all I need to get hired. So see, I've already put in my time and my effort. I got my degrees. I got my experience. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've got my experience. I got specializations. I've got certificates. So that's all that I need. All I need to go in is show these people that, yeah, I met all the requirements on the job posting. That's a myth. The truth about that is that career acceleration is rooted in having the right people in your corner to guide your path. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You need to have the right people in your corner to guide your path. I've got a stat for you. Did it surprise me how high the percentage was, but then it made perfect sense. Did you know that 85% of jobs are filled through networking? 85% of jobs are filled through networking. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That means you've only got about a 15% chance of getting that job on your own. So once you made it past the resume, once you got into the interview, they want to know who you know. They want to know, that's why they're calling your references, because that's networking, that's connecting. Who do you know that can vouch for you? So they're calling your references. They're checking your background. They want to see your work. They want to see their portfolio. So how do I combat that myth? It is such a high percentage. How do I combat that myth with that truth? That means that if you're wise about this, you need to make sure you got the right people in your corner. And we talked about that, your executive board. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the videos that on my YouTube channel that talks about building your executive board. Going after a career alone can be a long and demanding task. If you've got a sponsor in your corner, if you've got a mentor in your corner, if you got a career coach in your corner, it's going to expedite that process. It's going to make sure that you're walking the path that's going to lead towards your dream career. So let's move on to our next myth. The next myth, and this is very interesting because it's 2019. The next myth is that the only jobs available are tech jobs. Now it seems that a lot of jobs are being taken over by artificial intelligence, or it seems like if you don't know how to do Excel or PowerPoint, or if you are not able to set up a website, you can't work. And a lot of people now are going to school, and the stuff that they learned about, welcome, about computers and about technology is outdated within 5 years. But that's a myth. I'm going to tell you why that's a myth. Because your unique gifts and skills will create the space for your passion that can provide for your life. I'm going to say that one more time. Don't believe the hype that only people with tech degrees are going to get employment. The truth is, your unique gifts and skills can create that space where your passion can provide for your life. Oh, thank you so much for the love, you all. You have to figure out what makes you distinctively different from other candidates. Because here's the thing, everywhere in every career field has a plethora of qualified candidates. But once you figure out what makes you distinctively different from any other colleagues, wonderful. I'm gonna put in the comments down below before we wrap up how to get in contact with me so you all can follow up on my YouTube. I appreciate that inquiry. Okay. So you have to figure out what makes you distinctively different from other candidates. And if you do that, you won't be placed in the consideration pile. You'll be placed in the callback pile. It's a big difference. So let me share a little bit with you all. As a part of my HR experience, my job was to screen candidates. I would do on the phone screenings. And based on the resume that you submitted, I will review your resume. I will converse with you on the phone. And based on how you treated that interview with me, I put your resume and application in one of two piles. The pile of I'm going to file this over here, or I'm going to file this to pass it on to the next HR representative's desk to bring you on the interview. And I'm going to tell you something. That consideration pile is big and thick. As a matter of fact, the consideration pile was a file cabinet with 6 drawers deep, with files upon files, rows upon rows of people who were not going to get called in for an interview unless we were down to the wire. So if you believe the hype that the only jobs out there are tech jobs, and you don't live in the truth that I have distinctively different unique gifts and skills, that's where your resume is going to go. That's where your portfolio is going to go. That's where your client is going to put, oh, I'm just going to put that, I'm going to put her business card over here. Because I'm not showing this client, I'm not showing this employer why working with me is distinctively different than working with anybody else. Let's move on to our next myth, shall we? Okay, here's a myth that's very, very interesting. Oh, thank you for sharing your YouTube. I'm about to check that out. I appreciate that. Okay, so here's a myth that a lot of people, once they get into their once they get into their dream careers, this is a myth that a lot of people believe, that once I'm hired, I'm secure in my job. Once I'm hired, I did the hard work, Jessica. You told me I needed to do my resume. You told me I needed to ace that interview. But now I'm in the job. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So now I'm good. I can sit easy. Actually, that's a myth. Let me tell you the truth that combats that myth. If you've been paying attention to the news lately, financial analysts are predicting that we are going to head into a recession, which will lead to an increase of unemployment. So even if you razzle-dazzled them in your interview and your resume looked phenomenal and you showed up in the right type of suit, recessions can make the best of us be unemployed. So you've got to know the secret to overcome recession and artificial intelligence. What do I mean by that? Over the last, probably the last 20 years, we have seen how artificial intelligence is taking over the place, or the need, I should say, for human beings. You know, if you go to the bank right now, you can go to an ATM. You don't have to talk to a teller. If you go to a grocery store right now, you don't even have to have a cashier. You can check yourself out. Now you don't even have to shop. You don't have to go physically into a brick and mortar store. You can have somebody go in the store for you, shop, put it in a cart, and you go pick it up. That's because artificial intelligence is now making customer service a lot faster. And it's also, they don't have to give a machine a sick day. They don't have to give a machine any leave. They don't have to pay workman's comp for a machine. I shared with you all, I have a master's degree in social work. Even as a social worker, you would think that working with people will be the one thing that you did not have, that was safe from artificial intelligence. Not true. Now you can get a counselor on your phone. Now you can get a counselor who will text you therapy. You can actually get your doctor to diagnose something just by looking on a screen like I'm looking on a screen right now. So you've got to combat that myth. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How do I combat that myth? The secret to combat that myth and to combat the truth of the matter is to know and to live business etiquette. When you know and live business etiquette, it anchors you in your employer's mind and gives you favor above others. Well, make sure you caught that. If you know business etiquette, not just know, but you live it, it solidifies you in your employer's or potential client's mind so that when something happens, you've got favor over other people. So, you know that old saying, the last to get hired is the first to get fired? No, if you know how to behave in business settings, that favor will come for you. That favor will speak for you when you're not in the room. So you've got to know how to maneuver, how to behave in a meeting, how to respond to emails. These are the things that people don't pay attention to. They feel like I'm going to do my job and that's how I'm going to get paid for it. As long as I do my job. No, you won't keep it. Thank you. Favor ain't fair, but it is. I mean, favor is it can be earned. I'm not talking about nepotism. I'm talking about you've got the skills. And so when it comes time to letting people go, they're going to make sure that they don't let you go. When it comes time for looking for promotion and raises, your name is going to be the first on their mind. Okay? So, your lack of knowledge about the behavioral rules of engagement can cost you your promotion and raises. What do I mean by that? I want to share with you all just for a moment a little bit about my career path. I've been at the particular company that I'm with now for about 10 years now, almost 10 years now. And I decided that I wanted to have a career path that led me to being in a place of passion. So I started this job fresh out of grad school. I was excited about saving the world, and I couldn't wait to see the clients and to work with the clients. And something happened around that 6-year mark. It wasn't the 7-year itch, it was the 6-year itch. Every day it was hard for me to get out of the bed and go to work. I could not bring myself to go to work yet another day. I had no joy, no passion, and that affected the clients that I worked for. Absolutely no joy and no passion. And I decided something's got to change. So I researched what are the things that are going to get me on the career path to show up for work every day, loving what I do. Excited about it. Sometimes I even get up out of my sleep at night saying, oh, I cannot wait to try out this new idea for this particular company, for this particular group of people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So what did I do? I combated that first myth. Remember the first myth I told you? I made sure that my resume was transformation based. I looked at all of my experience and I made sure that it was all transferable language that I put on my resume. I chose the right tool. I then made sure that my interview was an opportunity to showcase my skills. I prepared myself. I made sure I had a mentor. Well, hello, awesome, welcome, coming. Thank you for coming. I had a coach. Even in this entrepreneurial space, as being a life and career strategist, I have a coach because I recognize in order for me to be successful, I need some guidance. I made sure I got my tribe, if you will, my executive board together. And I made sure that they were people who knew what they were talking about. Not just my girlfriends from college. Not just my mama, even though she's awesome with that. I'm going to bring her on an interview. But I had to bring people around me who knew what they were talking about. Who had the expertise. Who had the training to guide and direct me. And I knew that I was distinctively different from every other candidate for that position. Why? Because of my background. Why? Because I knew one of the things I didn't share with you all is I served as a university queen, and that gave me a specific set of skills. I did trainings on the outside of my job. That gave me a specific set of skills. I worked with coaching clients outside of my job that no other trainer had done the same way that I did. And I made sure that I answered emails. I showed up for meetings in a timely fashion. I was dressed appropriately and for the meetings. Yes, thank you so much, Miss Harris, today for that wonderful quote. So now I shared all this information, and I hope that me telling you the myths get you ready for the now what. Okay, Jessica, you told me the myths. You told me the actual truths, and I gave you the secrets to overcome those mental myths. So now what? I'm going to tell you now what. By 2020, you can be in your dream career. And it's simply 4 steps away. It's less than 4 months away for 2020. And in 2020, you can be in your dream career in just 4 easy steps. Those steps are: 1, you got to have a resume that highlights you and gets you hired. Not a resume that talks about what you did, but it highlights you and it's going to get you hired. The second thing is you need the tools to help you be successful in seeking and keeping employment. Not just getting it, but once I'm in it, how do I keep it? I need those tools in order to be successful. The third is you need your exceptional. Oh, awesome. The brand engineer. Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. You need your exceptional power script. What does that mean? When I go into an interview, I'm going to interview differently than maybe you would interview, because you know how to answer the questions. Welcome, that pertain to your specific skills and gifts. The last thing you need is indelible character and charisma. So it can't just be that you're good on paper. You got to be good with people as well. Even if you are a number cruncher, even if you are, say, an accountant, you're still dealing with people. You're still dealing with human beings and their numbers and their finances. So you've got to have that indelible character and charisma. These 4 things are going to make sure that you are in your dream job in 2020. So here comes a decision time. Decision time. You've got 2 paths you can go on. Are you going to go down the path where you're the person who hates Monday mornings? I was that person. I know. I'll raise my hand so nobody else has to. I was that person where I hated Monday mornings. Sunday nights, I started to have my stomach aches. My head started to hurt. I did not get peaceful sleep on Sunday night because I knew Monday morning I had to go to a job that no longer gave me joy. But I had to go because I went to school for that job, because I studied for that job, because I paid money for licensure for that job. Is that going to be you? Are you going to be the person who will continue to receive the salary that's beneath your skills? Are you going to be continue to see the person who's going to be looking in their bank account knowing that the job you're in is not paying you what you're worth? All this you're putting in there, you're putting in time, effort, time away from your family, time away from vacations, time away from the things that you love and enjoy. Is that what you're going to do? Or are you ready to have joy and energy in your calling? Are you ready to have joy? Are you ready to be passionate? Are you ready to be like me, smiling from ear to ear? And this is so genuine. I get so excited. I can lose myself in time talking about this because this is a hard thing for me. Are you ready for that? Are you going to be the person that looks forward to work every day? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that's a decision you've got to make. Oh, I'm loving this community. I love how we're loving each other. I'm in the right space. I'm with the right people who can support everybody. So are you interested in learning more about how you can have joy? If you are, go ahead and give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. I like that. Choose you. Absolutely. You've got to choose you. And you got to put some people around you that are going to help you with the decisions that you've chosen for yourself. So I got my heart. So here I am. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how you can make sure you've got those 4 things to be in your dream job in 2020. One of the things I talk about on one of my YouTube videos that we talked about probably about 2 weeks ago when we talked about building your executive board, I said that you need a career coach. On your executive board, you need a mentor, you need a role model, you need a sponsor, and you need a career coach. And believe me, I'm not just talking fluff. As I'm talking to you all right now, I have someone who just joined my e-board. I officially elected him as my #1 sponsor, and he's going out looking and chasing down opportunities for me. He's looking for audiences that need to hear what I'm talking about. So even now, like I'm the people on your e-board may switch, it may change, but these are the people that you need. So if you're looking for an excellent career coach, you want to look for somebody that knows what they're talking about, that has a systematic plan to get you in the space that you need. Now, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. What I do is I help clients with resume and interview refinement. I help people with career path planning and reputation revitalization. Did you catch that? Resume and interview refinement, career path planning, and reputation revitalization. I have helped people to execute transitions in their jobs where their jobs are no longer serving them, and they're stepping now into their passion and their purpose. Now, some of the things that people have said about the work that I've done, because I could just be saying, whatever, I could just get on the internet and pretend to be somebody, but I want to make sure that you all know that you are talking to somebody who's doing the work, who is getting feedback so that you know who you're talking to. Some of the buzz about the work that I've done is that I'm concerned about your experience in working with me. I really want to connect the dots from the theory to practice. So I'm going to tell you all, what resumes and what the stats are and all that good stuff and what's in your career. Thank you so much, you all. But my job is to help to connect the dots in your practice. If you're watching me on Zoom, you can kind of see what I'm saying here. I have the ability to present curriculum in an engaging manner. One of the things that I really, I would say I value is working with different learning styles, because not all of us learn the same. I don't know about you all, but I'm the type of person, I've got to write down notes. I'm listening, but I've got to write down notes. I've got to have my highlight. I've got to have my planner, where someone else can just listen to it and catch the information. And so I get that people have different learning styles, and I really want to make sure that the clients I work with feel like the program that they're in is both universal, but then personal for them as well. I work from a strengths-based perspective. I'm always looking for what strengths you have. Oh, you are a note taker too, Miss Hair today. We're kindred spirits. I'm definitely a note taker. So if you want to talk about the specific challenges getting in the way of your career dreams, we can easily do that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I know someone asked me about my contact information. I'm going to put that in here. If you go to my page, you can also, there's a link for you to schedule a chat with me so we can talk about what your challenges are, what your career goal is. Oh, listen, I am most definitely a planner girl. I've got like 3 or 4 of those calendars. And you can also find me on YouTube. And I'm Jessica Canty on YouTube. Thank you so much for posting my contact information up there. Now, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure. There we go. Okay. I wanted to make sure that you all have an opportunity to ask any questions that you might have about what we talked about today. Did any of the myths kind of hit you hard, or did any, it says pin my comment notes. Okay. So I'm going to make sure I pin these comments on here. Thank you so much for helping me out with the technology. I love that this is such a supportive community. I wanted to make sure I left the space open if there was any questions when we're talking about any of the things that we talked about today. I'm getting so much wonderful feedback from you all, but I wanted to give you all that space to ask any questions that you may have. I'm seeing the love. That means that I'm giving you good information. I'm so happy to hear that. If this information was beneficial to you, would you let me know? Would you let me know in the comments, or would you let Swag Her Magazine know that this information was helpful to you? The other thing is, I wanted to announce that last week I sent out a series of emails. Remember one of those myths I told you all about? The myth that that all you need is to be able to do it on your own? Well, I know that's a myth. So I sent out some information last week. So if you want to join my email list, feel free to direct message. Oh, thank you so much. Direct message Swag Her Magazine. Or thank you so much, you all. Or you can direct message me, Jessica Canty. And you can also email me, jessicacanty@jessicacanty.com. And I will definitely send you out emails to help you, because one of those 4 things I told you is that you have to have the tools to help you to be successful. So you can join my email list and get the emails that I sent out last week to prepare you all. So I think that the next thing we're going to do is I would love to do another workshop with you. I'm definitely bringing more interviewees on. So be on the lookout for that. I'm excited because next Wednesday, give me 1 second, you all. Next Wednesday, I'm excited that I'm going to be interviewing another one of my M series, a Woman Crush Wednesdays. I'm going to be talking about mental health next week. So you got to make sure you're in the right space to next week. We're going to have a lunchtime convo next week. So I'm not seeing any questions, but I wanted to make sure that you all are able to get in contact with me. So definitely check out Swag Her Magazine. Send me an email, direct message me, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you all. I'll see you all soon. Thank you so much for all of the love.